Hey, Jesse.
Hey, Lindsay.
What are you drinking today?
I'm drinking mango White Claw with like some mango energy drink. And then I made
Mango Monster.
I made 3 shots of different kind of crowns.
Okay.
Crown apple, crown vanilla, and the blackberry Bam Blam.
Well, you're going to need them shots because today's case is rough.
It's what you told me. Mm-hmm. I'm not scared.
You should be.
No, I got liquid courage. And I'm ready. What are you drinking over there?
I've got a watermelon White Claw.
We've decided to be British because we started saying the snozberries taste like snozberries.
Yeah, that was our mic check.
We were checking the mic and she was like, the schnozberries taste like schnozberries. And then she does like this whole like teeth and grin beaver thing. And I was trying to match her. And I
can
can't
put it on our Instagram. I saved it.
I can't match her with it. Like her schnozberry level is way cooler than mine. It is.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm taking a bow.
Oh, hang on. Wait. Here. Ready? There. No, I'm not doing the intro yet because I want to know what we're drinking about. You usually say like a little something before I get off into it, don't you?
I told you it was rough. Okay. Today we are drinking about Tyler Hadley.
Tyler. Is it Sir Tyler Hadley?
Fuck no.
Fuck no.
No.
He got a big fuck no on that one. Okay.
And he is, it's another Florida case. We're going to have a few Florida cases.
Florida.
Then we're going to travel.
Oh, yeah. We're going to get out of the state finally.
We're going to travel across the ocean.
There's a lot that went on in Florida.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I'm so excited. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this. Yeah, happy Friday, everybody. Here we go. I know you're rocking in my Air Force One. See you rocking in my Air Force One.
It's stomping.
Stomping in my Air Force One?
Yeah.
Oh, whatever. Hey, Lindsay.
Hey.
And it's going to be a great weekend. And we're going to just have a fabulous time. And you're going to tell me about fabulous, horrific things.
Yeah, we've had a good weekend so far. We had some Chinese last night, a little visit from the grandbabies, and then we had a nice feast at the place of my employment with the family today. Had some nice Bloody Marys and some nice food and came home.
It was a nice time.
Yes.
Nobody was like shitty.
Nobody was
And usually
shitty.
I'm the one that gets shitty because I'm all like, you listen here, y'all better take care of your kids. I'm going to have to whip your ass. Damn it. They're doing a good job. Yeah. They're doing a good job. We're happy grandparents because we're old as shit. I think the older you get, the less you care. But there's like a point where you have that. I
don't know about the less you care about what others think.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. But like, being an old crotchety, I am.
Get off my lawn.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, old never cracker over here.
There was a podcaster that I listened to, and he used to be like, I'm going to be the old guy that says, get on my lawn.
No.
No.
That wouldn't be cool.
Unless you have a cooler of some ice cold drinks and a charcuterie like in your car, get off my lawn.
Yeah, I think that's more attractive than a white van like trying to give somebody candy, I guess. Hey kids, do you want to come play with me and eat my charcuterie?
No, that only appeals to adults. Kids are like, what?
Well, what's that?
Yeah.
Do you got Fortnite?
I don't know. There's kids, there's whole kids TikToks about the hundreds of dollars of products that they're using as a skincare routine at like 9. But,
What?
Yeah, that's a whole...
Kids at 9?
Yeah.
They need skincare?
That are using like 40 and up products.
Eat better food. These McDonald's has got me breaking out at 5. All the grease.
Yeah, TikTok is wild. But I'm so glad it didn't get banned. So glad about that.
Yeah.
It's a nice escape sometimes. And I had already followed everybody that I follow on TikTok. I had followed them on their other shit just in case. especially one of my favorites, Dante Elizabeth James.
Even in the long run, like, it was a good thing that there was a threat that whole social media thing was going to get banned or whatever, because it opened up different avenues, and that don't run, which we need to get in different social media as well. Like, that way we're working both platforms and everything, something out of the meta world. So we'll work on that. That's coming soon.
Yeah. I mean, I'm doing the best that I can. Like, I share all of our stuff. You were wanting to do something
on X too, right?
Yeah, I guess it's not Twitter anymore, is it?
No.
See, that's how out of date we are. All right, so that's my goal. Next week, I'll set us up an X account. I'm just Twitter is mean, so I worry about that. I don't want people coming for me, but I guess that just comes with shit like that.
Well, we're all doing this ourselves, so
yes.
Like, you can just set it up and then, get on it whenever you think about it.
If you say we suck, we'll be like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, I don't care.
You don't have to listen.
Yeah.
But
it's just art.
Yeah, we put some work into these, so I hope that those of you that are listening appreciate it.
Yeah, and thank you so much.
Yes.
I really appreciate it, and Lindsay does too. And we had somebody actually hit us up, and they were like, "Hey, I know you still got your thing going on, and we want you to play our music." So that was cool. So I'm looking forward to sharing that later on. Seeing that we're expanding a little bit more, new followers, new listeners. YouTube, there's a lot shaking now on YouTube, so that's good.
Guess what I found out? I just remembered what the little news that I told you about to remind me about. So, and this is like old news, but I didn't know about it in all my research that I did on the West Memphis 3.
No,
I didn't know this.
Is that the one where the guy on YouTube sent a thing? Go ahead. I'm sorry. Not to interrupt.
Okay, so I guess it was about 3 years ago or so. Remember how I told you that there was evidence that was supposedly burnt in a fire, but there was no evidence of this fire?
Oh, okay, yeah.
All the evidence that they needed to free those boys in 93
had been there.
Been there the whole time.
Oh,
it's in pristine condition. Or it was when they found it 3 years ago. And I just found this out.
Knowing that there's been people touch that and look at that.
All the rabbit holes of this case.
It.
And I looked that up yesterday, and I couldn't find anything on that, but I did find some YouTube videos confirming it.
Ah.
Yeah, I couldn't find anything on Google, dark into Google. I mean, not dark into Google, but deep down, 47 pages. I still could not find. All it said was, new evidence to be tested, but there hasn't been any update that I could find on that evidence being tested.
Well, they had their narrative, the whole satanic panic narrative they had to stick to, right? What do you think that's going to come out like about the JFK files that just got released?
Oh, God.
Because remember, that was the communist narrative right there, right? What do you think could come out there?
So many conspiracy theories about that.
So many.
So, like, when last podcast on the left covered that subject, they did 2 episodes on the case, and then they did a whole episode on just the conspiracy theories. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a lot.
There's hundreds.
Like, my jaw was on the floor. I knew there was a couple, but not as many as they talked about.
That was really cool. So many different things that are coming out to light, and that's a good thing, though. Like the truth, the real stuff.
Yeah, it's like let's get rid of the conspiracy theories and let's just know the truth. It's simple.
I like conspiracy theories, though.
It keeps things interesting.
Sips on that.
Yeah.
So many cool things that get turned and twisted, and then I don't think that all that's true right off rip until there's no doubt. I give it a chance. Yeah, interesting.
And then it gets to the point where you're like, oh, that's a little far-fetched. Yeah.
Yeah, like the whole flat earth thing.
Yeah. Jesus. All right. So you ready to get started?
Yeah.
All right.
Fire off, girl.
All right. So let's begin. Tyler Hadley was born on December 16th, 1993.
On my birthday.
Yes.
Woo!
To Blake and Mary Jo Hadley in Port St. Lucie, Florida.
Oh.
The Pizzle. Yeah.
Yeah, Port St. Lucie.
So I have spent quite a bit of time in Port St. Lucie. I, years ago, dated somebody from there, and my sisters lived in Stewart, one of the neighboring cities.
Stewart, we're going to go to Port St. Lucie, and we're going to hang out in
Stewart. Go down the Indian River Bridge, and yeah. Tyler had an older brother named Brian, and his father, Blake, was an engineer at the Port St. Lucie nuclear power plant, And Mary Jo was an elementary school teacher. So they were decently well off and seemed like a pretty solid family. They were also active, very active in the Catholic Church. Like they were both altar boys, and Mary Jo did readings every week. And Tyler, he had been born about a month premature and had to stay in the NICU for about 3 weeks because his lungs were underdeveloped.
That's like the predominant religion south of Orlando.
It is
Catholic. Yeah, there's a lot of
sister's
Catholics down there.
my sister's dad is Catholic, but he's in the Kissimmee area, but they were further south. Like he spent a lot of time in that
between
area.
Like the Latinos that moved up to Miami and then all the New Yorkers that moved down, the Italians and the people, all the snowbirds that moved in. So I get it.
So Mary Jo was there every day when he was in the NICU, but feared she wasn't getting enough like skin-to-skin bonding time because that is important. When he was just 3 months old, he also got a bad case of the chicken pox, which is wild because I don't know. I didn't start having kids till 2001, and there was a vaccination for that at that time. Like all my boys got vaccinated for chicken pox. That's why they never had it. But I remember like in our birth years, remember they used to have the chicken pox parties?
Yeah,
where
we all got together in the neighborhood and tried to catch it. Yeah.
So you would get immune to it because if you didn't get it as a child, you got it as an adult, it was like super dangerous.
Yeah, or shingles later on.
Oh yeah, that's what it
like
is when you're older. Shingles, right?
If you've never had chicken pox as a kid and you get shingles later on, it can put you in the hospital and worse. Yeah.
So doctors also discovered that Tyler had a hormone imbalance. And I guess this was in his like toddler age. And he was put on thyroid medication really young. Thyroid issues can lead to delayed growth and development. Symptoms also include depression, behavioral problems, weight gain, and delayed puberty. When I was younger, because I was a chunky kid, I got tested for thyroid shit all the time. But I didn't have it. I just think it was genetics. I mean, as you've seen, all my boys, we go through a chunky stage and it was like we kind of...
They thin out and then they get taller and Then they get comfortable again, like Dalton, your oldest boy. He's like, I don't care, dude. I want to eat.
Yes, but he works really hard, so it like balances out.
He deserves it.
But he had gotten way too thin for a while, and he's at a good weight.
Yeah, my whole family's been pretty thick myself too. So
and so is mine. So yeah, it's genetics with us. So despite all of this, Tyler seemed to be very close to his parents, and as a child, he was a very quiet and well-behaved boy. He did, however, suffer from self-esteem issues at a young age, like really young. He started obsessing over his weight as a toddler.
Wow.
As a toddler. That reminds me of one of Silas's friends who, I mean, when they were like, 8 years old, he was talking about calories and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, that was kind of weird. Yeah.
Maybe he had some like skin care products too.
Oh, God. So this caused parental guilt in Blake and Mary Jo, and they did coddle him, and neither one wanted to be a real disciplinarian. I want to make it known that that was the only bad thing that anybody could ever say about Blake and Mary Jo. They just didn't want to be real disciplinarians. He was
the only child?
No, he was the second.
The second one? Oh, okay.
But he was the youngest of two boys.
Yeah, the baby.
So there was Ryan and Tyler.
Oh, okay.
They were both very well liked, both very funny. And it's been said that Blake would just like bust out randomly into song, which same, that we both do that.
Yeah.
And Mary Jo seemed to be very protective of him. And Tyler was called a mama's boy.
What was the thing that I seen on TikTok the other day where the husband's like, what's going on in your song in your head right now?
He's like, what song is going on in your ADHD brain right now? And then she would just like randomly start singing this off the way. And I'm like, I relate and you relate. Yeah.
The hills are alive with the sound of music.
And
that's what's in mine right now. Tell me what's in yours. Tell me. You're on the spot.
I'm on the spot. There's like 7 going on right now. Okay, so Cornflake Girl by Tori Amos has been on my mind a lot lately because I was listening to True Crime Obsessed and she mentioned it, so it's been in my head.
So that's one of the 5 that you got going on there.
Yeah, to 10. And then They Had It Coming.
Ooh.
They had it coming.
Yeah.
They had it coming all along. Yes. I'm so glad that a lot of the Chicago songs are trending on TikTok right now. It's making my heart so happy.
Yeah.
So Tyler would go on to attend Village Green Environmental Study School, which is a magnet school where Mary Jo taught first grade. This school had a curriculum designed to help students become world changers. who would care about conservation and the environment. Teachers at this school would say that Tyler was a bright student with a sharp sense of humor. Mary Jo was very involved with his education and often checked in with all of his teachers, and Tyler always got good grades. But socially, he wasn't doing well and didn't have any real friends for a few years. At the age of 9 in 2003, he would become very close with a neighborhood kid named Michael Mandel. Michael's family had just moved to the neighborhood, and he and Tyler became friends right away, riding bikes and playing with Pokemon cards. And one day in 2004, though, Michael went to meet Tyler in a clearing down a trail. They planned to play outside until dark, and then Ryan, the older brother, Tyler's older brother, promised to give them a drive to the mall. They were 10 at this time, and they were going to pull their allowances together to buy some new Pokemon cards. So Tyler was already at the clearing climbing trees and was holding a bungee cord that was tied to a branch. Remember, they're 10. Tyler then made this bungee cord into a noose and said to Michael, "I'm going to kill myself."
What? Come on.
So Michael was scared as fuck, but then Tyler started to laugh, indicating that he was just joking. Michael was relieved, but very, very shook. But they continued to play as if it never happened. And unfortunately, Michael's suicidal tendencies would go unnoticed. And when weird behavior was brought to their attention, Mary Jo and Blake would just turn a blind eye.
Wow.
They chalked it up to a dark sense of humor. I mean, there's dark senses of humor, but
don't turn.
Yeah.
Don't turn your blind eye to your kids as anything.
That's too young. That's too young.
Anything. Just don't let it. Just don't do that. And also, if somebody comes at you with something, you know, take it in consideration. Be like, hey, their observation of my child too. You know, you got it because you know which ones are just going to start shit, and you know which ones are going to come to you and be like, hey, I'm concerned. You know,
right?
So yeah.
As Tyler got older, his self-esteem issues would get worse and not tended to. Once a doctor called him sturdy, and he thought that was the doctor calling him fat. Is that serious? Mary Jo would always tell him that he was perfect and nothing was wrong with him. He would go on to complain about his height, and Mary Jo got a doctor to prescribe him the human growth hormone. Even though this can worsen depression, which Tyler already was showing signs of, this treatment would cost the Hadleys $3,000 a month, causing Mary Jo and Blake to go into debt.
What a scam.
$3,000 a month. So he was,
What a scam.
So human growth, that's steroids, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, but it was a scam too. How are you going to push that on a child?
I mean, according to all sources that I found, it was Mary Jo's idea because Tyler was so insecure about his height that she feared that he was going to get picked on.
Yeah, but
she thought she was helping.
You gotta let the kids be kids. I mean,
they're gonna grow. Look at all my boys. Remember how they obsess over their height? And they're still none of my older boys are very tall because it's just not in their genes.
Yeah,
it's not.
And that's what we told them growing up. Though we were pretty damn close.
Mm-hmm.
You know, hey, we think you're going to be around 6 foot. You know, 5'9", 6 foot.
Yep.
You know,
all that they really cared about is that they were taller than me. So they achieved that.
Yeah.
So at 13. To deal with his weight and emotional problems, this is at 13, Tyler would turn to drugs. He would start by sneaking alcohol from his friends' parents, then on to smoking and selling Satan's cabbage. Then he would start taking any pills he could find, ecstasy, Xanax, pain pills. And this can happen in teens with untreated mental illnesses. We've seen that, right?
Yeah.
So before all this, and I'm going to say this too, even when your child shows symptoms like this and you try to get them help, if they don't accept it, there's still not much you can do. And we've dealt with that.
Yeah, once they get it in their head, especially if they're stubborn.
If they're not cooperative, there's really not much you could do. No, don't coddle them. Yes, do everything that you can do, but they have to be a willing participant to want to get better, to accept the help.
So there's a sense of positive persuasion, and you got to try it. But if it doesn't work, hey.
And unfortunately, the resources we have in this area are just not it. They're just not it.
Yeah. So something clicked earlier on in his childhood where he felt like he had to keep up with the Joneses and look like a cookie cutter kid. You know,
I guess.
And he couldn't fight it anymore. There's some kind of psychosis that happened there.
So before all this, Tyler had seemed shy and polite at school. but then started having loud outbursts, laughing out loud to himself. Remember that? Mooing like a cow, shit like that. Neighborhood parents started not wanting their kids to hang out with him. One childhood friend would say that Tyler would often joke about suicide and murder. A lot.
I remember as a teenager, though, like, we would do stupid shit like that.
Did you talk like that?
No.
'Cause I don't know.
But like the stupid outburst just to get like some kind of attention. Even you would be like, elbow your buddy and be like, and the teacher would be like,
okay, yeah.
Jesse, stop that.
Okay. You're talking about the outburst, not talking about suicide and murder.
No. Hell no.
Because
I didn't know.
I'll go on to talk about shit that these kids talked about, and I'm just like, I've been around dark conversations, but not that dark.
Right. Around what time period was this here now?
Okay, so he was born in 93, so this was early 2000s.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I just know as a kid in the mid to late 90s, it was a different thought process.
So on an evening out with longtime friends, Tyler would ask Mary Jo over and over if she hated him and wanted him dead. Mary Jo acted like it was no big deal, but she would finally realize that there was some problems when Tyler and some friends set a couch on fire in a preserve, like a wildlife preserve down in that area. She finally set some rules, but there wasn't any real consequences if he broke them. And his behavior continued to get worse and worse, and he started stealing money from his parents, cash from their wallets, and even taking their bank cards and withdrawing money. His parents would even tell visiting friends and family members to keep their wallets and purses locked in their car or keep them close on their person.
No, hell no.
Right. So Mary Jo would track him on his cell phone to know where he was. And when he didn't come home one night, she located him at a party and dragged his ass out. Now, this did not really make Tyler want to turn things around. It just angered and embarrassed him.
So further,
you know what I'm saying?
Further down he went. Like, it just kind of just kept on.
And some of the
kept
friends,
on aiming that way toward negative.
Right. Some of the friends actually thanked her for taking him home. Like, that's how belligerent he was.
Wow.
Yeah. So they also found out that he was skipping school almost every day. And he was starting to show signs of bulimia. His brother would notice that he was spending a lot of time in the bathroom after meals and heard him throwing up several times. And they, like, Ryan said that he would like eat a whole pizza, go to the bathroom and throw up, take a shower, and then come out and be like, hey, can we go to McDonald's? Yeah, stuff like that, which is a lot of, I don't want to downplay this at all because I've been through it.
Well, what do you think about those growth hormones making him do all that, though? A lot of it.
I mean, and they don't really talk about the effects of that in any of the sources I found at all. They don't really focus on that, and I think that had a lot to do with this.
You're pumped up on some shit, and you're going through some mental shit at the same time, and then you're still trying, and you're not getting the results, and you're trying to lose weight, and and thyroid problems too, on top of all that. Hello. Parents should have been parenting a little bit better on this deal.
I don't want to.
So far.
I don't know.
Well, I do feel like it straighten them up and make them understand, hey, this is life. This is how it is going to be. You're going to find bullies. You're going to find people in life that are going to reject you. You're going to find people that accept you. We told our grandkid to get in the corner last night, and she cried so much.
It was literally 30 seconds, and she was good. Yeah. She did exactly what we said. It was
just like, go get in the corner. That was it. And she melted.
Got to punch him a little bit.
Yeah. A little bit of real,
Right. And real. Like I said, she melted down for like 30 seconds. Then I looked at her and said, are you ready to lay down now? And she said, yeah. And she got right up there and laid down. She was out in like a minute. Yeah, she was tired.
Fussing.
Because what's the saying? Hindsight is 20/20. Like, we've been through some shit as parents, and we really don't have no real advice to give. We can just say what we would have done, but we've been in a lot of shitty positions like this, and you don't really know what to do until it's gone and passed, and then you're like, oh, I should have done that.
Yeah,
well,
you make your best decision as parents.
Right.
You try to do the best
sucks,
you can.
And it's hard. Okay, I'm not going to say it sucks. It's hard. Parenting is hard.
Yeah.
So other family members would find like pools of vomit in their backyards as well. By this time, he was 6'1" and wore a size 32 in pants. So Mary Jo could not understand why he was still suffering from body issues.
Yeah, that's average. Like, that's a trim fit size.
But when you have, and I'm going to talk about this, and I'm going to say when you have, which I think is what he suffered from, body dysmorphia, You don't see that.
Now
in
he was
the mirror.
looking at himself in a different light. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And at this point, Blake and Mary Jo were fighting constantly. And shit really hit the fan when Mary Jo wanted to buy Tyler a car. Blake was not for rewarding him with bad behavior. And they were already in debt because of the HGH treatments. But Mary Jo was insistent on this because she thought it would help Tyler's self-esteem. So I see both points. She's trying to help her kid thrive. Blake's like, fuck no, he's bad. He don't deserve a car. And I see both points.
Yeah. She's trying to give a little to get something positive back.
So Blake had a friend that suggested that he get a summer job at the plant where Blake works. But Blake wasn't sure about subjecting his coworkers to Tyler's tantrums and sulking because he literally still kind of acted like a baby. Like I said in the beginning, the thyroid can help you mature later on. So he was still tantruming and acting like, a toddler a little bit.
Battling all of his
when it came
internal, emotional things going on, yeah.
So when Tyler didn't get a car, this is where I veer more on Blake's side. When Tyler didn't get a car at 16, he would just take his parents without permission.
Wow.
And
he was emotionally unstable, though.
Yes.
I mean, his dad could see that.
Yes. And when asked why he was doing this, he said that he felt cooped up. So they finally caved and got him his own car, thinking that this would be what would finally make him a happier person. They bought him a brand new, like gold Lincoln. Now, okay, get him a car. Don't get him a new one.
No.
Don't get him a new one.
I said,
get him a fucking clunker that costs $1,000.
We were talking about that earlier. Our second to youngest, he just got a pretty much brand new car, like a 23. And
it was for a very good price, though.
Yeah,
I
they
can't
got a good
argue
deal
with
on
that at all.
I'm getting my son. Our youngest, he's getting an old truck because I know how kids can beat up cars. I know.
But the other son, his first car was a lot older. It was about, it's 15 years old this year. Yeah.
I mean, a kid's first car really needs to be something they can learn with.
Mine was only a year old when I got it, but I had half the money that the whole price of the car was $8,000. It was a cheaper car. It was a Mercury Tracer.
Well, vehicles were way different.
I would say I had
price range.
Half of that money saved up, and my dad just went ahead and
you earned it.
I worked really hard,
and that's
I
a
saved.
Different level of maturity and your mental state, and because
I wanted that freedom, and my parents were dead set on you're gonna earn it, and I did. And, I fucked up a lot but that was a goal of mine.
That instilled a lot into you, though, working hard for it. Yeah, me too. I worked hard for everything that I've ever had in life, and it's a good thing. You got to do that. You got to put that in the kids for sure.
Now, this did help for a while, but he would go back to his destructive behavior soon enough. He would skip school for weeks at a time or just show up for one class and then leave. So he dropped out of school, but he wanted to go to college at the Indian River State College, and they had a drop back in program, which would help him get his GED. And he did this, but was kicked out really quick for smelling like Lucifer's lettuce.
The devil's lettuce. Marijuana, Lindsay. Boomer.
So listen, I'm trying to put cute little names for it.
Okay.
Yes.
That wacky weed. That ganja. That dank.
So his mom even tried to get him to go back to school, to regular high school, by saying that truancy officers were going to come after her. But he did not care. He did end up going back to PSL High, but he started getting into fights over drugs. Someone smashed his window after Tyler tried to rob him. And his parents literally just shrugged this off when asked, saying it was bullies who did it. In April of 2011, so now we're in 2011. This is where we'll stay for a while. He was actually charged with aggravated battery on one of his friends. He spent a week in jail and another 2 on house arrest. Now, Blake and Mary Jo at this time actually took his cell phone, but he still was communicating through the computer. And he reached out to this girl, Mercedes Maxine Marco. He was talking about his mom, and he's complaining about Mary Jo taking his phone. And Tyler says, "Yup, she's a cunt for show. I might kill her." Mercedes says, OMG, no, jail. I mean, prison, LOL. And Tyler Hadley says, oh, well, heart. Yeah. So this is what we're doing. Tough. This is where we're at right now.
It's becoming a thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a shot.
Okay.
This is the Cheers one. We're going there eventually.
Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name. Bow, bow, bow.
That's Crown Vanilla. I don't know which ones are what now.
Okay, so it's going to be a little surprise.
Yeah. It's good.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody. So it feels like some shit's fixing to go down.
Mm-hmm. So Blake and Mary Jo took him to New Horizons Mental Health Clinic. They wanted him to have inpatient care, the clinic did, but Tyler refused, and Mary Jo and Blake couldn't.
And that's exactly what he needed.
But listen, I'm getting there. But Blake and Mary Jo couldn't have him involuntarily committed legally upon his evaluation because he did not meet the requirements. This is where we fuck up.
That's exactly where you fuck up.
I have been through this with a child of mine, and it is frustrating. So frustrating because I'm telling them paragraph after paragraph after story of shit that we're going through in our home. And they're just like, well,
what do they think? You're manifesting this shit just to dump your kid off on them? I mean, what are they thinking?
So they're now trying to take steps in the right direction and it's not working.
And even if you gather up all the stuff and you come at them, here's all the stuff that he's done before this. Here it all is.
I had files. Thick files of documentation.
And they're still like,
So his bullshit continued, and they tried another clinic called Riga Mental Health Center. And Tyler agreed upon the outpatient program, which was actually covered under Blake's insurance, so they didn't have to go into more debt. But honestly, there really seemed to be no end in sight to his behavior issues.
Not to be negative about the situation, but did that work? No. Otherwise, your story would already be over.
Right.
Keep on going.
Yes. So one night, he was at a friend's house named Matt Nobles, and they were hanging out and chiefing it up. He was happy to be chilling out away from his parents, who had become just insufferable since his arrest. All he wanted was to have a big rager at his house, but he knew his parents wouldn't allow it. I mean, this is what is in this kid's mind. I want to be popular. I want to have a party, and my parents are getting in the way with it. Fuck all the things that I've done. You just forget about that, Not
going to worry about anything positive. Not going to build anything for myself. Yeah.
So he felt like his parents didn't love him anymore. Children, teenagers, if y'all are out there possibly listening to this, we do love you. And that is why we are insufferable. That is why we are doing the things that we do to help you. And it just makes it really frustrating when nothing takes. We're just trying to help you. We're trying to help you do better.
Literally, we break down to them and say...
We're trying to help prevent what I'm going to talk about in the next 30 minutes.
Exactly. We break down and we'll say, we reference some things like this. And we also reference each of them, in certain stages of their life, and be like, listen, your brother did this because he didn't listen. Mm-hmm. Or your other brother did this and he got this because he did listen and he earned it. Mm-hmm. So we use those examples, and the exemplatory things that you can use in life. That's what teaching people is about, Because
I'm going to say this again. Raising kids is hard.
Yeah.
Or it has been for me. If y'all have what they call gentle kids out there, kudos to you. You're blessed.
Yeah. Not everybody gets that nice walk down the sidewalk, Yeah. So
he took a big old bong rip. He looked around the room and announced, I'm going to kill my parents. To which everyone just laughed. Apparently, he and his friends would often joke about things like this, along with burning down churches or killing babies. That's what I'm saying. Have you been a part of conversations like that? I used to hang around a lot of dudes, and they didn't talk about shit like that. So that kind of shocks me.
In stupid context. Okay. We used to say the most. I
mean, I know we listen to metal and they sing about shit like that.
Most of them don't that I listen to.
I mean, we've the death metal, like Norwegian death metal and shit.
Even Cannibal Corpse did it just as a theme.
Infant Annihilator.
They do that as a theme.
Yeah, it's a theme. It's not real.
And just the same as all of my buddies would get together and we would talk stupid, crazy shit in the most disgusting things in the most disgusting way, because we were doing it on purpose to be shocking and appall.
Okay.
Yeah, shocking all things.
That is a lot of reason why Tyler was ignored, because they would all kind of talk about shit like that, but nobody knew that in his mind, he was actually being very dark for real.
That's complete difference, you know.
So, and he said it again. I'm really going to kill my parents, yo. And detailed his plans.
That's where it shifts.
And
to me, it would be like, wait a dude.
He said he would catch them off guard. I mean, he would have to. Blake was a huge guy. I think he was like 6'2", 300 pounds. And he would take their money, throw a big ass party while their bodies were still in the house, because no one had ever done that before.
Lindsay.
Michael Mandel would hate when he would make jokes like this, because Michael Mandel was his best friend.
And he felt like it was genuine.
And he loved Mary Jo and Blake and considered them like second parents. He loved them very much. Tyler actually started saying that Blake was his stepfather, and that his real father was dead, and that Blake would abuse him physically and sexually. And this was 100% not true at all. This was just Tyler being fucking wild. I mean, just dark. This is just shit he's starting to make up to build a path.
Yeah. There's a lot of dark turmoil going on. Yeah.
And all of Tyler's friends and Ryan's friends loved Blake and thought he was a super fun guy. And he played basketball with them, took them to FSU games. That's a long drive from Port St. Lucie to Tallahassee. Fuck.
6
Even
hours?
if you're going to Gainesville.
Yeah.
Or anyway, you know what I'm saying? FSU games are more tended to be around here, right? I mean, I haven't really been to a lot of them, but I haven't been to any FSU games.
Yeah, I mean, but if you're going all the way to Tallahassee from there,
I mean, it's like games. So
if you do that 5 times in a season, that's a lot. Yeah. Even if you caught them playing Miami or you caught them playing even Gainesville, yeah. So still, it's a lot.
So Tyler flipped a switch, and Mary Jo actually started to think that Tyler was doing better. He was where he said he was going to be. Like when she would track his phone, he was coming home on time. He was helping out more around the house. But this was all an act. His plans to kill his parents was still on his mind. Well, Blake also noticed that he was doing better, so he wanted to take Tyler on a family trip, and his uncle noticed that something was off about Tyler, where Blake and Mary Jo were like, oh, he's doing better. The rest of the family is like, He was, I guess, some nights like in the cabin, he was drawing, and Tyler actually drew the cabin in flames. And he would wander outside in the middle of the night, and the aunt and uncle even woke up one night to him peering in their window. Blake didn't find an issue with this. Another uncle said that they were taking a walk through a trail, and he had like this walking stick, and he kept whacking shit. He was being annoying. And the uncle's like, dude, cut that shit out. And he's like, oh, I'm just whacking spiders. So he's whacking the stick. The uncle's like, cut that shit out. And he just blurts out, Menendez brothers. Like out of nowhere.
What?
And the uncle's like, I'm sorry, what? You know the Menendez brothers story, which I think that's a whole different subject.
I know a little bit, so when you do it, I won't.
Yeah. I'm not going to elaborate on it because I have a different opinion about that whole situation now. Anyways, the uncle was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, yeah, they're my heroes. On the way back, even after all this wild behavior, he told his dad that he had a great time, and Blake was happy about this. But Tyler was still actually planning his parents' murder.
He was in deep planning now and not letting them see it.
So after returning home, Tyler started gathering his tools, a knife, a hammer, and some hedge clippers, and hid them in his bedroom. On Friday, July 15th, the family went to dinner to celebrate another family member's birthday. On the way, he stopped to get gas, and Tyler saw a friend who said it was his birthday. And Tyler was like, well, come by the house tomorrow, and I'm going to have a big party, and we'll celebrate together.
Wait a minute, Lindsay.
So...
Are you fixing to...
Hold on.
Lindsay.
We got some more time. So at the restaurant, Tyler was exceptionally good and actually hugged family members, which is something he hadn't done in a very long time. Very long time. Mary Jo was actually thinking that she had the old Tyler back. Well, that night, while they were sleeping, Tyler snuck into his parents' room with the hedge clippers, contemplating killing them, but didn't go through with it. The next morning on July 16th, 2011, Mary Jo and Blake woke up to do their morning routine. Meanwhile, Tyler is planning a party for that night, posting about it on social media. One friend even messaged him and said, this was the Matt Noble kid from the bedroom when he was smoking, talking about killing his parents. Matt Noble said, did you do it? Tyler said, no, but I'm gonna. Matt said, bet? ? Matt Noble, you really should now. Do it.
Really?
Tyler Hadley said, don't worry, I am. Then I'm having a huge party. And Matt Noble said, hell yeah, party time, N-word. So, yeah.
God.
This is what we're...
So now he's getting pumped up to it. Mm-hmm. Oh, my gosh.
So the parents went to run errands, and Tyler had some friends come over to smoke. He told them that his parents were going to Orlando, and he would be throwing a rager that night. After the friends left, Mary Jo and Blake returned, and Tyler hid their cell phones. Around 5 p.m., he popped 3 ecstasy pills and put on some rap music. Mm-mm. The song was Feel Lucky by Lil Boosie, and he got to work.
Hang on. Hang on.
You're going to take shot number 2. All right, I'm going to take a sip. I'm now on Blackberry White Claw. I finished the watermelon.
Bam-ba-lam. All right, my turn. Maybe this is the Blackberry.
We'll see. And you're drinking out of our
we went to Georgia.
Anna Ruby Falls.
Anna Ruby Falls. Pretty Falls in Georgia. Check that one out.
Yes.
North
of Helen.
Northeast Georgia up in the hills. It's nice. Really cool.
We had a great day that day.
Yeah.
We hiked a lot, and Silas didn't complain once. Not once.
That's Crown Apple there.
Oh, that was Apple? All right.
So, we got up on a ridge, and we were like, we seen the falls, and we looked up, and there's the top of this hill with a path going up there. I'm like, let's go up there. And we did. And we went way up there, and then we went way down and back down and around.
I loved it. I loved the whole day. I loved that whole...
We hiked for 4 hours straight, nonstop. No tinkling. And I am not that athletic, but I enjoyed hiking. It was really cool. Really cool.
It was a lot of fun. I want to do it again.
I think, if all the situations would have been right and we didn't need to get back and do other things, we would have really it was perfect weather.
We would have found other areas to explore.
Yeah. And there was little water runoffs off the hills and stuff. And we found these cool rocks, and my mom tumbled up one of them, and it looked really beautiful. It was like a nice quartz rock.
Yes.
Cool.
They were everywhere.
Everywhere.
All right. It's going to get dark. You ready?
Yeah, I'm not going to take this other shot, but I'm just going to put it close.
Okay.
Okay, get it.
So Mary Jo was sitting at the family computer, and it said that Michael stood there staring at her at the back of her head for a full 5 minutes. But I actually listened to an interview with him, and he said it was more like 20 seconds. It just felt like 5 minutes.
It was that enduring, over you.
He raised the claw hammer and brought it down on her, bludgeoning her to death while she screamed, "Why, Tyler? Why?" I know.
Mom.
So hearing her screams, Blake came running in and was horrified and also asked why. And Tyler said, "Why the fuck not?" And said it over and over again while Tyler bludgeoned him to death as well. This was a 300-pound man.
Yeah, but I mean, if your kid's doing that, you're shocked, and that's the
I think
gripping
because I know that when I've never been in a situation like that, thank you God, and I hope to never have to be. But in certain situations, you literally do get paralyzed from fear,
shock.
And I remember when I received some bad news years ago, I couldn't speak for a few minutes, and.
You go numb.
And you don't know what to say. And that's why I will never judge anybody on their reaction to anything, because you don't know what your body's going to do.
No.
It's you almost have no control over it.
And the shock itself, I mean, you
it's everything starts spinning.
Blinding,
and and
ringing,
you're just
the slowing down of
the denial, the instant denial, and of what's happening right in front of your face. You don't want to
accept it. Yeah, you're just what the fuck did I just see? Holy shit, Lindsay.
I know.
Mom and Dad.
He wrapped towels around their heads and dragged them into the master bedroom, laid them face down, side by side, and left the hammer in between them. He took about 3 hours and cleaned up all the blood and threw all the evidence that he could find into the room with their bodies. This includes broken dishes, shattered glass, bloody towels, pillowcases, books, a coffee table, a sponge mop, Clorox wipes, or an empty thing of Clorox wipes, and a canister of coffee grounds.
He had to clean up for the party. Goodness gracious, Lindsay.
So, this is so fucking fucked up.
It's horrible.
He took a shower and looked at himself in the mirror and laughed. And this, like I said, remember the laughter, because like it's a thing. It's a thing. I don't understand how do you kill somebody on 3 ecstasy pills? And he was high on marijuana. I don't understand.
Don't be the person that's your so-called friend and pump your other friend up to something like this. No. Because I guarantee whatever you just read about the little conversation right there with his old toke buddy had probably been happening all the way up to this point.
Yeah, so before this happened, he had posted on his Facebook page, "Party at my crib tonight? Maybe? ? Then around 8:15, he posted, "Party at my house, hit me up." A girl named Ashley Hayes messaged, "Whoa, what if your parents come home?" Tyler said, "They won't. Trust me." So that's the only one, yeah. So now it was party time, and it was wild. In attendance were about 60 teenagers who Tyler had encouraged to basically destroy the place. He only had one rule: don't go in the master bedroom. This is so fucking dark. Oh my God. This one's fucked with me really hard this week, doing all this research.
60 people are in the house, 2 dead, party raging.
Mm-hmm. So they were destroying furniture, putting out cigarettes on the floor and the furniture, beer pong in the living room, total chaos. At one point, a beer pong ball had rolled onto the floor into a reddish brown substance, Mary Jo's blood.
And they kept on playing it.
They just washed it off, and it continued to be used.
Front cup. Doink.
Fucking hell.
Oh, Lindsay.
I know.
Margaritaville time. I'm going. This has got to be the blackberry one. I'm sorry to pause, but go ahead. God.
One guy ran shirtless into the living room carrying the neighbor's mailbox, and everyone laughed and cheered, except Tyler, who screamed at the kid and told him to put it back before the cops came. Well, around 1 a.m., Tyler went over to his friend Michael, his friend, neighborhood friend, been friend a long time. He said he wanted to have a chat. Almost as soon as they were outside and away from everyone, he said to Michael, "I've killed my parents." At first, Michael didn't believe him and thinking this was just one of his sick jokes. But Tyler went on to give him all the gruesome details. And he was like, "Didn't you see both my parents' cars are still here?"
Oh.
Man, I would probably pass out at that point. Like, just because he's probably fucked up, had some drugs, had some drink.
Everything.
And now it's like, your friend is telling you this, and you're like, fuck, they are in the car. Because he's told people, like, he told one person they were in Orlando, one person they were in Georgia, one person he told they don't live here anymore. Like, that's, yeah. This is my house.
You don't have to be accepted. You know that? In life, you don't have to have that. You know, rejection teaches you a lot.
Mm-hmm. So I did not have a lot of friends growing up, and I was picked on and bullied. And guess what? I have a wonderful life now. So just get through it. It sucks when you're in the middle of it, and you feel like you're never going to come out of it. But you do not need to impress people whatsoever. I wish I had all the money back from all the times that I tried to impress people and kind of buy love and things like that.
Yeah.
I'm
going to take you out to Taco Bell.
Shit.
You want to come hang out with me?
Right.
You know, hey, I'm gonna get you whatever you want, you know, as long as you're hanging out with me and you accept me. No, fuck that. That's just something they have to learn. That's the age group right there, that dynamic right there. You have to learn to accept.
Tyler was 17 at this point.
Yeah, you have to learn, hey, okay, sorry you don't want to hang out with me, but I wanted to, but whatever. Mm-hmm. I'll accept it, and I'm going to move on and, you know, keep being positive. God.
So then he proceeds to tell Michael he planned on completing suicide by overdosing on Percocet. Well, Michael was shocked, to say the least. Then upon going back in the house, he started to act like his eyes were open. He started to see the evidence, and it was actually everywhere. He saw a bloody shoe print, and when Tyler wasn't looking, he started really looking around, and there was blood on the computer that people had been using all night long to play music.
Wow.
Yeah. So then he snuck into the master bedroom. Tyler had thrown so much trash in there that it was hard to open the door, but he did get it open and he was horrified. He turned on his cell flashlight to look around and spotted Blake's bloody leg underneath the mess. But Michael did not leave screaming as I would have done.
Lindsay, I am fucking horrified.
I know.
Right
Could
now.
you imagine?
I'm fucking horrified.
And
right now.
I'm thinking back to house party days when the parents weren't home, and I know that they weren't dead in a room somewhere, but I really thought back to like, what if that had ever happened?
Yeah.
Our kid is never going to a house party. I swear to God.
I went to some frat parties.
Not that I ever went with permission, but
around that time, I went to some frat parties, and there were thousands, like 3,000 to 5,000 people there, and you would hear like, hey man, we need to get somebody over here. Somebody just got stabbed in this field, or somebody did this and that. Like,
shit.
Yeah. One of the frat parties that I went to one time, it was in between Lake City and Gainesville area. So all the Gainesville kids had come up, it was a huge college frat party, probably 3,000 people there. It looked like the parking lot was out in a farmhouse, and they had 3 DJs out in the barn. I was one of the bands that played in the living room, and this was a huge farmhouse. Probably 150 people in the living room.
Damn.
Yeah. And just the shit that was going on. And
that's like body to body type shit.
Inside.
150 people inside.
This was.
We've had parties here, and if we have 50 people here, it's crowded.
This was a big farmhouse. The living room area, it was big. But anyhow, people would come up to the porch area. You would look out in this field and see an endless amount of cars. And so there was huge parties going on out there. They would create bonfires out in the field, and people would come up and be like, "Man, there was a big old fight out there in the field. Blah 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 blah. Somebody got stabbed. Y'all need to call somebody." And I'm just like, dude, I'm just one of the bands here. I'm just hanging out. The shit that you could imagine that kids were, And I was 19. There.
Did you ever have to jump over a fence and run to get in your car because police were showing up? That was wild.
No, but I ran in the woods one time because we were drinking alcohol too young, and the cops showed up.
That was one of the scariest nights of my life, when I had to run and jump over a fence to get in my car.
But that's typical. Yeah. That's typical teenagers trying to get together.
Still scary.
But could you imagine actually being in somebody's house with the murders that happen literally feet away from you?
Ever.
You're in the crime scene. Holy shit, Lindsay.
I know.
This is a hell of a twist.
So, Tyler had been Michael's friend for a long time, and he was now terrified of him and what he might do if he found out Michael called the police on him. I mean, dude had just killed his parents to throw a party. I mean, that was literally his motivation. I mean, at the time. I mean, he's obviously mentally, horribly, deeply mentally disturbed. That would have been
the end of it. I don't care if you're my best friend or not. That would have been the end. I'm out. Deuces. And they have the cell phones and they have everything, modern times. Here we go. So
Michael was like, I guess you'll be going away for a while, and took a selfie to remember their last night together. But Michael was actually for real freaking out and told another friend who told his girlfriend. And then everybody is talking about it. But Tyler had also been dropping hints this whole time. He told a girl at the party that he would be going away for 60 years. And when she asked why, he said, "You'll find out tomorrow."
Wow.
This is a kid that no matter what he did, and we know this all too well, they're just gonna tell you because they don't care. They don't care.
They were liking him a little bit more because he was saying that fucked up shit. He was like, "Oh, you're gonna accept me now?"
I mean, I've been to parties in Port St. Lucie. These people are a different breed. Love you, Port St. Lucie. I hope you listen, but y'all crazy down there. I've been there. Okay.
This is crazy for anywhere, though. This is insane.
After this encounter, the police did show up, but it was for a noise complaint. It was 2 a.m., and they said, "Keep it down," and left. But Michael did sneak out at this point. While Tyler was distracted because he was scared, shitless.
Unfucking hingery.
Yeah.
You don't know what's fixing to happen.
Right. So Michael ran at this point and he didn't want to wake his parents. So he went up to his room. He could not get the image of Blake's bloody leg out of his head. He went back and forth on whether he should call the police.
Come on, do it.
And he was probably fucked up. I mean, have you ever done ecstasy? It puts you in a euphoric place that you're not thinking clearly whatsoever. And at 4:24 a.m., he left a voicemail on the Crime Stoppers hotline. He said that Tyler had confessed to him and that he had seen Blake's bloody leg with his own eyes. Meanwhile, everybody left by this point. Tyler was posting on Facebook that he wanted to throw another party. And then police did show up. But this time, it was to arrest him. They could see him through the window, pacing the floor, and then talking to himself. He also started throwing stacks of books into a bedroom and yelling. He finally answered the door for the police and was put in handcuffs. He told them that his parents were in West Palm Beach. The police started searching the house while Tyler screamed at them to stop. They started noticing the bloodstains and broke down the door to the master bedroom and found Mary Jo and Blake. And oh yeah, all this time, he had the family dogs, a black lab and a beagle, locked up in the bathroom.
What?
Yeah.
Lindsay.
Yeah.
I cannot believe this child right here.
So in North Carolina, where Ryan Hadley was, he had went up there to go to college. And he was, I think, 22 or 23 at this time. He had heard from several people that cops were surrounded at his parents' house and thought that Tyler had hurt himself, or worse, completed suicide. He waited and waited for a phone call letting him know what happened. The phone call he did receive was from a victim's advocate letting him know what happened.
Wow. I'm still in shock right now.
Ryan has a book. I believe it's called 1,000 Fireflies. I was not able to read it before. But I'm going to. I'm not read it, but I'm going to listen to it. I know. He immediately got on a plane to Florida. By this time, the murder was all over the news. Teenager murders parents and then throws a lawless rager was the headlines. Kids who were at that party were actually bragging on Facebook about being there. Told you it's a different breed.
That's a different breed.
It's a different breed. Well, in the article, I got a lot of my information from Rolling Stones.
They're doing exactly what he did, trying to get attention for more acceptance.
Well, it's literally in there because that town was built for a retirement community. It's very boring. And the person that I dated from there would corroborate that. They did fucked up shit because it was there was
from zero
nothing.
to
it's
extreme.
A beautiful town,
yeah,
but there's nothing to do. You know what I mean?
Kind of like our town.
Yeah, our town isn't really that beautiful.
Well,
we ain't got a beach you can drive to.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Not at all. No.
I mean, we can, but it's a long way away. It's not 15 minutes
but there's
up the road.
Jack shit to do here.
Right.
Yeah, no.
Tyler was charged with second-degree murder and was put on suicide watch. The Hadley's funeral was on July 23rd, and there were about 1,000 people in attendance at St. Lucie Catholic Church. Ryan had so much put on him all at once. Badgering from the media, the police, and he was put in charge of his parents' estate, and he was also appointed Tyler's legal guardian, which he did not want.
No.
Because Tyler was still a minor, but he actually got a cousin to agree to be the guardian because he did not want that.
Oh, that's less on the government, you know.
He made sure Tyler would receive no inheritance from the estate at all. He did make sure of that. And he did finally go see Tyler at Rock Road. That's the nickname for the jail down there. And it's like, I knew that before I read this or before I did this research. He did this because he knew his parents would want him to. Unfortunately, that's just how, fuck. Tyler would not make eye contact with Ryan at all, but Ryan let him have it, as he should, letting him know everything he was going through. And Tyler actually made a joke and said, well, you can come to jail and have biscuits and gravy. What the fuck, Tyler? Tyler would write letters to Michael Mandel and other family members while awaiting his trial. To his family, he apologized for his actions, and said he was very appreciative of their love. He gave hope to some that he could be rehabilitated. But in jail, that was not the case. Inmates were literally creeped out by some of the things that he talked about, like laughing about what he had done.
Looking for more acceptance.
Laughing constantly about what he had done. Like it was insane.
All of this revolves around not enough rejection. Being accepted of rejection. He actually said
his parents deserved it, and he regretted nothing.
He said that for more attention.
Yep.
You know?
So he tried many manipulative tactics to get an insanity plea, but they didn't work. When he turned 18, he was transferred to an adult unit, and he befriended a kid named Justin Toney, who actually had been fascinated by Tyler's crime. This guy asked him if Mary Jo and Blake had tried to fight back. Tyler said, "No, that's how I knew they loved me."
Yeah.
Justin said that Tyler would autograph newspapers in hopes that he could sell them on the outside, and he would draw little hammers around his name and would write, "It's hammer time," in all caps.
What the fuck?
Isn't this...
What the fuck?
He's laughing because he's horrified.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Stop.
Well, Justin...
Hammer time.
Oh, my God. Like, what?
What the fuck?
There was a nickname that he chose for himself too, and I forgot it. Oh, I forgot to write it in my notes too.
I had to make that dark humor right there. That's horrible. He just wanted so much attention, so much acceptance. Rejection can be a positive thing. You have to learn to accept it and just move on. He didn't have any. It just seems like he was striving for acceptance, and fear of rejection as a teenager is horrible. God.
It is.
But that's where you really learn it, and you have to learn it. You have to learn that.
I forgot to mention this too. Do you know at one point, or you don't know, but at one point during the party, a kid actually said that he smelled dead people. Now, I don't even know if that can be true because it takes a while for decomp smell to smell it.
Yeah, but if there's like blood and stuff all in the air.
Now that could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that with a hammer.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Like just body tissue and blood. And then
somebody asked, "What do you mean by that?" And he was like, "Well, people are smoking." So maybe he just, because I know back in those days, weren't they putting formaldehyde in marijuana? I remember that being a thing. Yeah. I don't know if they still do.
Could have just been goofing like, "I smell dead people."
Yeah, who fucking knows? But
instead,
I just thought that was very ominous. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Justin was horrified by this, the hammer time shit, and he actually spoke with detectives about it.
Hammer time.
Yeah. So in 2014, Tyler is now 20 and his trial began. On March 20th, 2014, Tyler was found guilty on both counts of first-degree murder and was sentenced to 2 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole.
Yeah. So he got accepted into that. Goodness gracious.
Now, like I said, Ryan has wrote a memoir or a book called, I'm going to look it up right now. I believe it's called 1,000 Fireflies, because I think that's what he associated.
The feeling of the trauma. Yeah.
I want to read it. And like I said, I just didn't have time while doing this research, but I came across it a few times. And I got a lot of my information from the Rolling Stones article and just other sources on the internet. But the Rolling Stones article had a lot. But what's fucked up is I listened to an interview. I think it was a Dateline interview, I want to say. There's a podcast that has an interview with him. And I think he was 30 at the time. 28. He was 28 at the time of the interview. And he sounds a lot more remorseful now than he was at this time. But yeah, he'll be there till the end of time.
Yeah.
So the end of his time anyways.
As human beings, like, you have to learn those stages. Mm-hmm. You have to learn them.
Teenagers. Your parents trying to help you get through life. If they tell you no, it is not the end of the world. It's not.
No. It's not. And no is a good
Being
thing.
told no
for
at all
kids.
by anybody is not the end of the world.
No.
End of the world. You just
It-
accept it and move on.
Yep.
It's part of life. There's
Yep.
going to be a lot of people to tell you no.
Yeah, he got the yes too many times, and the yes wound up getting them back. That sucks.
It's a terrible story.
To me, that's what that boils down to. He got too many yeses. You got to get a no. Go put your nose in the corner and learn from it. Goodness gracious, Lindsay. So that's it, huh?
Mm-hmm. That
it.
is the end of our story about Tyler Hadley.
That was a 4-shotter to me. I only did 3.
He was like, damn, where's my other one? Yes.
That didn't. Hammer time.
There was a nickname that he chose for himself. You'll notice a lot of these guys will actually pick their own little
They're trying to get
nickname.
fame. Trying to get fame. Yeah.
But yeah, that's not a way to be famous, folks.
No. Did he make his
Ever.
own superhero costume while he was in?
No,
when he was in
like I
prison?
said, he was a completely different person.
I know.
But it was.
I was just thinking, like,
I'm not
he's
even
out
gonna
there,
lie.
He's like, he painted him some underwear with like a fucking little hammer, sledgehammer.
This one hit really home for me, as we have had a son that has struggled with a lot of these same issues and kind of scared the shit out of me a little bit. But because that one is still learning, unfortunately, and he's had problems since he was about
And
4 years
believe me,
old.
we have told him no.
Mm-hmm. We have done the work, and we've done
every tactic we can think of. So we've had our struggles as parents too, and we have a wayward son.
That's what I do call him, my wayward son.
Wayward.
He's my mama tried.
We take
kid.
it lightly, like because at this point, like he's making fully his whole decisions on his own.
And all you can ever do is
all you can do is try
put
and
in the
hope
work.
for the best.
But unfortunately, mental health does not get the recognition that it needs. And it's hard to get the help that people need because there are so many laws and different things, and you can't force somebody to participate in treatment.
Yeah, their constant pushback is the same as our constant pushback whenever we were trying to get him the right help that he needed. Just the same as you said on this one,
There's been counseling sessions
all the
where
stuff,
my child would literally just lay on that couch and go to sleep. So, and for the hour that was being billed. Yeah.
It sucks. But we tried our damnedest.
So much work. It's been a lot of work. It's been a long road. But
Stories like this, though.
it scares the shit out of you.
Scares the shit out of you.
Mm-hmm.
But you did a great job, Lindsay. And
Thank you.
I just want to, can I just?
Nothing happened. Oh. It was delayed.
I put a new one on.
Okay.
This is yours.
Woo!
It's all you.
I don't know if I want claps for that one. It's terrible.
I downloaded it for you.
Thank you.
For Tyler. Not for Tyler.
Not
you.
for Tyler. Fuck Tyler. Yeah.
But what a story.
Yes.
How do you... parent struggles. You're trying to give them the best you can. And
Trying to do everything you can to make your child happy. But it is hard to find that balance in making them happy, but also doing what it takes
gotta
to
say no. You gotta say
hey,
no's.
this isn't fucking acceptable. You can't act like this. You can't do these things. And I'm not going to reward you with doing that. It's a constant struggle.
Stand your grounds. He had thyroid. He had mental. He had things going on.
And then you add
you're
the
pumping
human growth.
steroids into him, and he's blowing up. And then he wants to put drugs in, and
then he's
bulimia
self-medicating, and there's a lot of mental health issues in this
So
scenario.
a lot tied into that. I believe they did the best they could, that they knew they could. But unfortunately, it got them. That sucks.
It could be because you don't want to see the dark side of this person that you brought into
And
the
you don't
world.
want to see your child fail.
Mm-hmm.
You want to
Exactly.
you want to keep pushing positive. You know what? You got to put a little negative in there and let them reset. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just going to say 2 words: reset, reset.
Oh my God! Don't bring that up. That's a long story for another day.
But Lindsay, you did a great job, and this is horribly great. I'm looking at her right now, and
He's
I'm
like, I don't know what to say. This is terrible.
How do you like? Okay,
just do the best you
narrative
can.
behind our podcast.
Say no when you have to, and
yeah.
Don't reward bad behavior. And I that's really all I can say. And
yeah, at this point, we're only covering 2 points of our whole podcast theme here, because I don't have any funny banter behind this one.
No,
other than claw hammer.
Ooh, no, too soon. All right, what band are you talking about today?
Well,
or what band are you plugging today?
So I'm friends with so many people on Facebook and just social media.
Okay, humble bragger. No.
And not humble, unhumble. Because of music networking. So I would just be sending music back and forth. People would send theirs, and we would share. And I would use just our common sharing grounds as far as meeting and sharing social bands, being socially connected to all kinds of different music. Mm-hmm. And a friend of mine, Lori, she hit me up, and I had already sent her the thing when we first kicked off. I was like, hey, I'm wanting to start a podcast, or we're starting a podcast, and we're going to be sharing, local bands. And her name is Lori, and she's in a band called Lori and the Darlings.
Lori and the Darlings.
So really cool music, Lindsay. It's like when I'm listening to them, I just want to get in my car and drive.
Okay.
And that's kind of cheesy at the same time, but it has like a Stevie Nicks kind of vibe. I told you, I was like, it has kind of an almost grungy, but almost country type.
You said a mix between like Sheryl Crow, Garbage, and Stevie Nicks.
Yeah.
And I kind of see that.
Yeah. I dig it. I dig it. So she hit us up, and she's like, we want to share your podcast, and we're going to, trade back and forth just like everybody else.
Thank you, Lori, for reaching out to us.
Yeah. Really cool stuff. So, and they have this really cool jam that just came out not too long ago. It's called Main Street 54.
Main Street 54.
And I want to share it. It's really cool groove, man. They're really, it's tasty.
Some driving
it's
music.
Tasty. To me, it's just like top down.
And that's perfect, because most people listen to a podcast while they're driving.
Yeah,
so
this is
I
perfect
do it during
for a
everything:
podcast.
house cleaning, driving, exercising.
So if you're a fan of
showering,
any three of those groups, any three of those bands, you're going to love Lori and the Darlings. And I'm going to play these guys. And thank you, Lori. Thank you, everybody that has just been so supportive.
Yes.
And we even like on YouTube where we did the West Memphis 3. Mm-hmm. We're even getting feedback. I seen somebody had commented on that. Check out that on our YouTube.
Okay.
And he sent something that you need to check out. I don't know what it really pertained to. You probably already checked it out, but it was about a book, so you might not have read it yet. But anyhow,
okay.
So we're getting feedback.
Absolutely.
So it's really cool.
I love that Damien Eccles book. I've listened to it twice now.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And he was like, you need to hook up with this person, and then you need to do like another recap on everything. I don't know. Maybe you know something we don't know, but
maybe it's pertaining to that evidence that I was trying to find. I was trying to find more on that. Yes.
That's the kind of stuff that we're looking for.
So,
we love your feedback. We love all the how Lori hit me back up. We need all that to keep us driving and feeling like, y'all are part of this, And
so that honestly, that means that they were covering for someone.
Yeah.
To lie
their narrative
about the evidence.
They're covering their narrative. For sure. Right?
God, that's so fucked up. And they had to take an Alfred plea. So they couldn't sue for anything.
But eventually now, if that comes out, it'll all be thrown out no matter what they pled, So anyhow, Lori and the Darlings, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you want to check us out, drinkaboutSomething.site. All the links are there.
Yes. We're now on YouTube, Instagram. I made little TikTok videos of our episode with the music that we're featuring that week in the background.
That's cute.
And and we're gonna I'm gonna make it my goal. Jesse, remind me to get us an X account.
Yeah. We'll
Twitter,
do that here in
X,
a little
whatever.
Bit. We're gonna do that here in a little bit.
Yes.
Be like, no, I don't want to. Be like, no, I got you. Okay. We're gonna hook it up. Lori and the Darlings, Main Street 54. Check it out. Thank you guys so much.
wrapped up in my heart, and my heart are full. Detroit bound to chase this crazy dream. I'm just afraid my dreams won't be enough to convince my feet. God only knows that it's killing me to leave this place, and I only know if you give me all I miss when I'm away. It's gonna take time, but my time is mine, and it's something I've gotta try. Saying goodbye to my whole life. My whole life. My whole life. My whole life.
That is so good, Lindsay.
Very driving music.
I love it.
Kind of a beachy tune too. We can add that to our little beach playlist.
Yeah, I'm gonna add it. And you know, follow them. Follow Lori and the Darlings. They're
Yes.
really cool band.
Yes.
I enjoyed that.
I'm gonna. Are we following them yet on our Instagram?
We're going to be.
I'm gonna
We're
get
going to
ready to
hook it
go.
up. I enjoyed it. So if you're traveling around, play some Lori and the Darlings. That's really good. Like that crosses some genres to me. You know, that's a little grungy. It's a little got the 90s pop feel to it too. And can go back. We followed you. Hey. And I love that kind of stuff.
Thank you for reaching out.
Yeah.
And
I
here you
really
are
do.
on
I
our
love
pod.
this stuff. I love it.
Yes.
Love it. Yeah, that's what it's about. That's what this is all about, really. You know, sharing everybody's art, and that's good stuff. It really is.
Horrible stories
Horrible
stories followed by
Lori.
art. Yes.
Horrible stories followed by Lori. That's a
Yes.
good name for a podcast. We're gonna have her on as a guest now.
Hell yeah, I'm down.
Yeah. Well, I did. One of the bands that we played wanted to do at least a audio call and do
Okay.
some stuff with us. So yeah,
We're down for
We're
that.
talking. We're talking. We're talking about some a fellow that lives down near Ocala that's wanting to do some of the Gainesville Strangler. What was he called?
Gainesville Ripper.
Gainesville
He's
Ripper.
on my roster for sometime soon. I don't know if it's. I know it's not next week. Next week we're gonna go into Eileen Warner's.
So that's Wolfman's wanting to do something,
Okay.
and he's on Roku. So if you have Roku, check out
I
Wolfman.
think the Ripper might be after Eileen, so within the next 2 weeks. Eileen might have to be a two-parter. I will keep you updated.
So check out Wolfman Presents on Roku. You can download his little app and see some of the things that he's done. Kind of podcasty too, and he does like food and band reviews and stuff like that. Really cool guy, Wolfman, and he studied in college underneath of one of the main prosecutors over that. So
Okay.
that was like kind of the tie-in right there. And then
That's a wild fucking case.
yeah.
Like my jaw was on the floor.
I don't know anything about it. You believe that? You believe that?
I didn't know about it until I heard about it.
Yeah.
Until I listened to a podcast
And we
about
should
it.
know.
And I'm
We're
like,
only like
I'm sorry, what?
yeah.
The Gainesville who?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ties in with what? Mm-hmm. We'll tell you later. But yeah, check out all of our past stuff too, and just keep on checking, following, liking, subscribing, the whole thing. Now we can say all that now.
Yes.
So yeah, just follow the links. And Lindsay, you did a great job. Lori, you did a great job on your music. Tell the band they did a great job. Everybody's doing a great job. All the bands are doing. They're phenomenal. Don't stop making music. Y'all all have the talent. Everyone.
And check out Ryan Hadley's book, 1,000 Fireflies, because we want to support him, because that's a lot to go through. Because
Struggles as a
basically he
teenager
lost his
is a
whole
lot to go
family
through.
in one day.
Yeah.
And he did. I know that he went on to say that those dogs that had been locked up, they were not the same after that. So
No,
Yeah.
dogs feel that. Yeah, they're animals. They're cute. They're biologically tied in. With
I'm sure that
Emotional.
I don't know if they're still around, because this was a while ago. But hopefully that everything turned around and they're okay.
Yeah, the dogs.
Well, and Ryan.
Yeah, right.
I hope that they're, everybody has been able.
Yeah.
But
Overcoming
how
those
the
is
fuck?
tough.
It's hard. How are you gonna? Because that's just like when you close your eyes. Because I know when I go through anything bad, and I haven't went through anything of this nature
Lindsay,
whatsoever.
I'm gonna need
when you
a-
close your eyes, that's just what comes to your head.
I'm gonna need a musical after this. I don't need like.
Okay. Well, I wanted to watch the thing, but we can do a musical absolutely first. But then we're gonna watch the other thing.
I was thinking Greatest Showman or something.
Okay. This is the greatest show.
I need something to lighten it up.
Yeah. I'm good. I'm down with that. We own it, don't we? On Amazon.
Yeah, we need some dancing and singing and laughing and.
We are musical people. I know. You know what's funny to me is Jesse wasn't really a musical person until I came along, but he liked them, and he was like, "I guess I kind of am."
Yeah, but
I had to bring it to your attention that you
like
are.
90% of the things you would talk about, I would already watched and knew and was singing along. Like, you were like, wait a minute, and then
then I'm like,
okay.
And you know what's funny is most people that say, well, they're not really musical. Don't you watch Disney movies? They're all fucking musicals in animation form. Not all of them, but most of them are.
Maybe that was Tyler's problem. He didn't watch a lot of Disney movies.
He didn't watch enough Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine.
The hills are alive.
Sound of Music is one of the best things ever created. But Chicago, boy, that one is.
You know, we didn't catch the dawn of all that, but we're definitely in the pocket of some amazing. Our age had some really cool music.
Yeah, and honestly, if you tell me that a movie is a musical, I don't give a fuck what it's about. I'm gonna watch it.
Check it out. Yeah. So we will see you guys next Friday.
Yes.
Thank you, bands. Thank you,
Eileen Warners.
Everybody.
Maybe a two-parter. We'll see.
So
I'll keep
amazing.
you updated.
You might have a two-parter next week. Hey, I might have to do more shots later.
Yeah. You know a little bit about Eileen, right?
Eileen Warner? Mm-hmm. No.
Okay. All right. Good. I'm going to surprise. I cannot believe that, but okay.
Anyhow, we'll see you guys next Friday. You guys have a great weekend.
Bye.